And take a few deep breaths. And relax your whole body. Progressively relax. Relax all your muscles progressively from head to toe. Just scan your body. Relax your forehead muscles. Relax your face and cheek muscles. Relax your neck muscles. Go to your shoulder muscles and see if there is any tension there. Relax your shoulders. Relax your back. Look if there is any tension holding there in the back muscles. If you feel there is some tension there, some tightness, then loosen it out and let go the tension holding there in the muscles of the back. Relax your abdomen, your chest muscles. Relax your thigh muscles, your leg and calf muscles. And relax all the muscles of your soul. Relax your both hands, forearms, and the small muscles of the palm. See that your whole body is now relaxed. You have progressively relaxed all the muscles of the body. And take a few deep breaths through the abdomen. A little deeper and softer breaths. This will shift your state of mind in the alpha state, which is the slow wave, relaxed state of mind. And this is a state of relaxation which facilitates the beginning of meditation, which are even slower states, the theta states and the delta state. So as you have fully relaxed yourself, now take your attention to behind your eyeballs. Just trying to look behind the eyeballs. There you will find a space. There you will find a dark space, an empty space you may be able to see with closed eyes. So try to focus on that space. Try to bring all your energy and your attention. Fix on that space behind your eyeballs. And just stay in that space. Keep your awareness in that space. When we focus our attention on this space behind the eyeballs, it induces the theta state, which is a state of light meditation. And as we continue to be in this state, as we continue to fix all our attention on the space behind the eyeballs, then gradually we automatically shift to a deeper meditative state, which is the delta state, which is the slowest wave, slowest brain wave state. So it automatically, we shift into that meditative state. We cannot deliberately do meditation, but we have to just facilitate for the meditation to happen by relaxing the body, focusing on the breath, and then focusing somewhere which even slows down the brain. And then automatically, when we continue to be in that state, then automatically meditation will happen. Because meditation is just like sleep. We cannot make it happen. We can just make the conditions right. We can just facilitate for the sleep to happen. But we cannot do the sleep. Similarly, we cannot do the meditation. It will happen on its own when we are in that right state of mind. The silent and the peaceful state. It will gradually turn into the meditative state. So as we continue to focus in this space and be still, you can listen to some points about the chakras. We have already completed the knowledge of all these 7 chakras, and today we'll just have an overview, certain things which includes all the chakras. So we know that the chakras are the psychophysical energy centers or the mental energy centers, and these are the centers, these are the energy centers which transform the psycho-spiritual or the mental energy into spiritual energy. They are the centers for spiritual transformation. And these centers, these chakras, they are located in the subtle body or the energetic body. We cannot see them in the physical body. They are not seen in the anatomy of the body, but they are located in the energy body. And they are seen as wheels, as the name suggests, wheels or rotating discs or funnels or vortexes of energy. And they are very dynamic. They are not some stationary structures. They are very active and dynamic energy centers, and they emit energy as well as they take in energy. And this energy which runs in the chakras, which ascends from the lower chakras to the higher chakras, is called as the prana energy. And prana energy also runs in the whole body, in the whole energetic body. It is through certain energy channels which are called as nadis. And there are 72,000 nadis which are described in the yogic sciences. And out of them, there are three major nadis. And the names are Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. The Ida Nadi is the Nadi which runs parallel to the spinal cord on the left side. And the Pingala is the Nadi, the energy channel through which the prana energy flows on the right side of the spine. And the Sushumna is the most important or the major Nadi of spiritual importance, the Sushumna Nadi. And it runs within the spinal cord. And the other two, the Ida and the Pingala on the right and the left, they correspond to the sun and the moon. The Ida is the moon energy. It is the feminine energy. It represents feminine attributes. And the Pingala is the masculine attribute, which also corresponds to yin and yang in the Chinese ancient system. And as the Ida and Pingala Nadi, they run in parallel, but they cross over at each of the chakras. They intersect each other. So these chakras are active at all times. And the flow of the prana in the chakras, it interacts with the energy of the element of each chakra. There are 5 elements of each chakra which we learned, and the interaction of the prana energy with the elements, it creates behavior patterns. It affects the mental activity of the person. So this energy flow, it determines the behavior patterns, the different mood, the different changes in desires. And this is also very dynamic. It is not something which is fixed. It keeps on changing in at different times of the day also in the same person. It depends how the energy interacts. So this psycho-spiritual energy, we can say that it is expressed through the chakras. And it manifests as behaviors. So we can say that this energy of the chakras, it changes the internal environment of the body, the mental environment as well as physical. And also there are various correlations with this, with the chakras, that these chakras, they also are described as the 7 chakras are described as the 7 loka. We have heard that there are 7 loks or there are 14 lok. So the 7 chakras, they correspond to the 7 lok of the, which is related to human birth, which is related to human beings. And there are 7 more chakras which are lower chakras, which are situated below the Muladhara chakra. And these 7 chakras above the Muladhara and the 7 below, these are the total 14 chakras. So it represents the spiritual consciousness or the consciousness of the being. The 7 lokas are named, the names of these lokas are like Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargloka, and it corresponds to each chakra. Like Manipur chakra, it represents Bhuloka. Then Swadhisthana is Bhuvarloka. Manipur is Swargloka. The Anahat chakra is Janaloka. Then Vishuddhi chakra is Tapaloka. And the Agya chakra is the Satyaloka. So that is the highest lok. Satyalok is the highest lok, which is the highest state of being, as we discussed yesterday. And the lower loka, they do not represent human consciousness, but they represent the creation which does not have much of awareness, like the animal kingdom, the insect kingdom, the plant kingdom, the rocks, the minerals. So they do not have awareness or intelligence. And these lokas are, they have also certain names like uh, Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, and Patal. So these are the lokas where the consciousness has not evolved much. They are the lokas of the lower consciousness. And also the 7 chakras, they correspond to all the endocrine glands which are situated in the midline, because the endocrine glands, they sort of act as signals in the metabolism. So the energy of the chakras, they influence the endocrine glands also. Like the Muladhara chakra and the Swadhisthana chakra, they are related to the gonads. Then the Manipur is related to the digestive, the fire, which is controlled by the pancreas. Then there is thyroid gland, which is in the Vishuddhi chakra. Then the Agya chakra is related to the pineal gland. And the Sahasrara chakra is related to the pituitary gland, which is the gland which controls all the hormones. It controls all the endocrine glands through the releasing hormones, which is the command center. The pituitary is the command center of all the endocrine system. So these 7 chakras, they also correspond to the endocrine glands, and their functioning is affected by the energies of the endocrine glands, because we know that there is a strong psychosomatic connection. Whatever affects the psychic energy, the mental energy, when it is affected, it has effects on the soma, the body, through its biochemistry. So this is how the chakras and the glands are connected. And the chakras are also described in the Maslow pyramids of needs, where the psychologist also, psychologist Maslow also discovered the same pattern, the same stages of human mind and human needs, where the Muladhara chakra, it represents the need of food, the basic needs, the food, shelter, safety. Then then the Swadhisthana chakra, which is higher, which is the place for pleasures and fulfillment of desires and expression. Then when that is also fulfilled, then the person wants to evolve to some creative expression, some wants to express its power, wants to discover its power, which is the Manipur chakra. Then after that, the human need, when the human has experienced that also, power, authority, then he wants something related to love, which is the heart chakra. And after that, when that is also fulfilled, then the person thinks, what else is left for me now? And then there are transcendental needs, the spiritual needs. Then the when everything has been experienced by the human mind, then it wants something more. Then it asks questions: why I am here? Who am I? What am I doing here? What is my purpose? So this is how the hierarchy of human needs also corresponds to the psycho-spiritual model of the chakra. So although the roots of this knowledge of chakra it is ancient in origin, it comes from the ancient literature, but its functionality is very practical even in these modern times, because this is a timeless wisdom. Continue to keep your attention on the space behind the eyes. Continue to be in this meditative state. And the chakras, they also correspond to the phases of life. As the person is born and grows in life, so each age corresponds to one certain chakra. Like the first 7 years, it has been divided in the number of years of 7. So the age from 0 to 7, the human consciousness lies in the Muladhara chakra. So we can see that a child is totally focused on himself. There is no other awareness other than the body, the food, nourishment. He wants security. There is no other thing which the child wishes and wants. So 0 to 7 years is where the consciousness stays in the Muladhara chakra. Then the next 7 years, 8 to 14 years, the mind evolves into the Swadhisthana chakra, where the human now wants to explore individuality, wants to express his individuality, wants to enjoy the pleasures. A lot of learning, lot of experiencing happens at this age. And also the sexual activity begins at this age, the pubertal age, which the Swadhisthana chakra is the seat of the sexual energy. Then as the age progresses to the next 7 years, the third chakra comes into play, the Manipur chakra, at the age of 15 to 21, when the person now wants to explore what I can do, what are my abilities, what are my powers, want to explore his contributions. So this is the fire, the young age, where the energies of Manipur chakra are at work. Then the next 7 years, the 22 to 27, the person operates from the heart chakra, where he develops relationships, he develops a family, he develops relationships related to the bond of love. Emotional bonds are developed. The love life, the family, the children happen when the human consciousness progresses to the heart chakra in the ages of 22 to 28. Then the next 7 years, 29 onwards, 29 to 42, is the ripe age where the person gains enough experience and the energy in the throat chakra guides for knowledge. The person is able to guide. He has gained enough experience that he is able to guide people. Whatever he has learned, he has experienced through the throat chakra, speech. Then the next 7 years of life, like 43, 49 onwards, the consciousness shifts to the Agya chakra or the third eye chakra, which is the spiritual center. So this also corresponds to the Vanaprastha ashram, which is described in our ancient books, where the person beyond 43 will want to explore his existence and want to explore more of the spiritual needs. So this is how at each age life operates more, life is more concentrated at one chakra. So there are so many correlations of these energies of the chakra related to our behaviors, our life, the seven lokas, because the loka which we hear, they are not like locations, they are not some places in the clouds, in the sky. Everything is, the whole cosmos is in the body itself. So when we say that there is Swargloka, means the consciousness operates from the Manipur chakra. The behavior pattern, the human mind, it has characteristics of the Manipur chakra. So this is how the lokas are described in relation to the chakras. And as we discussed that chakras are the wheels of transformation of the mental energy to the spiritual energy. So every attribute, it changes with each chakra. Like for example, if we say that the concept of safety and security, or the attribute of safety and security. So in the first chakra, the Mooladhara chakra, it is absolute security related to food and shelter or job. Whereas when this attribute is seen in the second chakra, then it becomes, the security becomes more oriented towards personal beauty, personal pleasures. Like if you have access to pleasures, then you feel secure. Then in the third chakra, it is about authority, status. So when you have authority, when you have status, then you feel secure. When your consciousness operates in the third chakra or the Manipur chakra. Then in the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra, this security is felt when there is faith, when there is love. When you have love in life, when you have trust and faith, people whom you love, you have around you, then you feel secure. Then in the Vishuddhi chakra, the fifth chakra, it is about the knowledge, wisdom, inner knowing. So the consciousness, when it evolves in the fifth chakra, then this attribute of security and safety, it is related to knowledge. When you have knowledge, when you have wisdom, then you feel safe. Knowledge gives this feeling of safety, which in the Muladhar food used to give. In the Manipur, an authority or power used to give. And in the heart chakra, love used to give. But now, knowledge gives you security and safety. And in the still the higher chakra, the seventh chakra, which is the spiritual center. So here, when you are spiritually connected, then you feel secure, then you feel absolute safety. So this is how each attribute, it changes its character, it changes its object as the consciousness evolves. For example, another attribute like sex. So if sex is there in the first chakra, it is just to satisfy the physical urge. It is totally reactive. And when sex is expressed in the second chakra, it is for enjoyment, because the second chakra is the pleasure center. So sex is for pleasure, for enjoyment, for excitement. Similarly, in the third chakra, sex is used as a tool to for authority, for control. Similarly, in the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra, and the same attribute of sex is becomes a tool for expressing love, for expressing companionship. And in the fifth chakra, the same sexual energy, the same sexual attribute in the throat chakra, it transforms into intimacy through speech, through words, through talks. And it need not be physical also. It is like you be in the relation with person, but you love to be with this person because both your frequencies match. You have a quality time with that person. So this is how sex is expressed as in the fifth chakra. Then in the sixth chakra, which is the spiritual chakra, the Agya chakra, where the deity which we learnt is Ardhanarishwar. So here the sex no longer becomes about the gender. Here the gender merges and the sexual energy is expressed as love for anyone irrespective of the gender. So this is how each attribute, if you see each attribute, it will change its character when it travels through from the lower and the higher chakras. So this is how we can connect our life, our behavior patterns of others also. We can recognize that where this person or where I am operating from, where if major part of your life, if major of your decisions, your behaviors, your thoughts, if they are related to one chakra, that means your consciousness is operating from that chakra. Otherwise, it does keep changing the whole day. It doesn't mean that you are stuck in one chakra for the whole lifetime. No. At times you do operate in the Muladhara chakra. Suppose you're hungry, then you will not think of anything, you'll just have food. There you are, your energy is operating from the Muladhara. And at times you just want to disconnect from everything and just want to be peaceful. That time your energy is operating from the Agya chakra. So it is very dynamic, it keeps changing, but what how you spend majority of the time of your day, of your life, that depends on where your consciousness lies. So this we can find out for us ourselves, and we can use this knowledge for our own progress. So this is the purpose of this model of chakras, the knowledge of chakras. It is to make our own life fulfilling and purposeful, and to evolve. So friends, today this completes the series of chakras. So now we can also come out of the meditation now. If you wish, just become aware of your body, aware of your surroundings. Gently move your fingers and softly open your eyes. So if you have something to ask or something to share, you may please do. All right, then. So here we end our session for today.